Next.
All right, our second presenter is Dr. Charles. She has a class that she's teaching this afternoon, so rather than yanking her away from her students, we got her on tape earlier this week. And so in a moment, with the technology gods at our backs, we will hear from Dr. Joni Charles to talk about empowering, we ready? The next generation.
Hi, my name is Joni Charles. I'm an associate professor of economics in the Department of Finance and Economics at Texas State University. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in person, but this is a teaching day for me. My class is in environmental economics. I have been asked a few times by students whether the course title is an oxymoron. How can the study of a subject so focused on firm profits and the pursuit of consumer self-interest be reconciled with concerns about environmental quality? My class empowers students to answer this question for themselves. During the semester, my hope is that they learn to be aware of the impacts their decisions as consumers, employees, or business owners have on the environment. I am delighted to briefly share with you how this happens. Every semester, I teach my course. My students are introduced to homeowners, people from state agencies or local government, nonprofit or community service organizations, and business owners who are dedicated to addressing the thorniest of environmental issues. My students also engage in service learning projects across the Central Texas region. Let me explain this. First, I have a speaker series. My students hear from professionals who volunteer their time to visit my class in person and sometimes virtually to speak to these soon-to-be graduates about how responsible concern for the environment impacts their businesses, their employees, and the resources they use. They share how career paths can unexpectedly intersect with opportunities for employment in areas where there is a need for someone who can clearly communicate about the fundamentals of economic activity and financial decisions, and the impact these have on environmental quality. For example, we have heard presentations from speakers in the fields of journalism and law, from a former employee in the oil industry who gave a presentation about corporate social responsibility in ethics and finance. We've heard a talk about green accounting in the field of accounting, and someone who spoke about the regulatory work of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. I've had architects, home builders, and homeowners share creative ways to reduce waste and conserve energy and water by proactively transforming homes into places that reduce their negative impact on the environment. Second, most semesters my class carries a service learning designation. This means that students are engaged in either a personal or group project with a community partner. The projects are not community service type projects like picking up trash, but opportunities for students to see how tools of economists like cost-benefit analysis, data gathering tools like surveys, or environmental impact assessment can be used to evaluate the merits of alternative projects. Sometimes I have taught them how to assess the willingness of the public to pay for an improvement in environmental quality. Community partners who work with my students are generous with their time, sharing with students what they know. This allows students to reach out to and work with local business owners, entrepreneurs, industry professionals, and organizations to observe and learn best practices and efforts to preserve the quality of water, air, or land, or to reduce noise or light pollution. Students are given a certificate by the Service Learning Office upon successful completion of the course, and they can purchase a graduation cord to wear at commencement. This signals to their peers the honor that the university places on service learning. My students can proudly include this experience on their resumes, and it gives them an opportunity to discuss their service learning experience with prospective employers during job interviews. One of my students very recently contacted me to tell me that he was hired by a state agency that he had chosen to partner with in his service learning project. Not all projects undertaken by my students have started or ended well. Not all of my efforts in a semester have been executed perfectly, and neither have I always had all of my expectations for the course fully realized. Environmental economics? Not an oxymoron at all. I am happy that I am empowering this generation of students to know that their success as a participant in the economy, whether as a consumer or employee, need not be divorced from an appreciation and awareness of their impact on the environment.